Tewksbury Zoning Board of Appeals for September 28th, 2023 is in session. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from August 31st, 2023.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous vote. All right, first item on the agenda. Brandy and Robert Brennan for a variance under section 5.3.2 of the Tewksbury zoning bylaw for a front setback to build an 8x12 front porch as shown on plans filed with this board. Said property is located at 1102 South Street, Assessors Map 109, Lot 13, zoned residential. Come on up and sit in the front, please. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
If you could, state your name and address for the record.
It's Robert Brennan, and it's 1102 South Street, Tewksbury, Massachusetts.
Thank you. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
What was that? Sorry.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing. Why are you here?
When we moved into the house, we had like cinder block stairs that were just crumbling, barely attached to the house, railings falling off. So what we're trying to do is build an 8x12 small front porch, just a new entryway to our house, a couple steps on the front of it.
8 feet out, 12 feet wide, I assume?
Yes, sir.
You're just replacing a crumbled set of stairs that were there?
Yes.
Do you know when the house was built?
I'd have to look that up, but I believe it was the 60s. I can't remember the date off the top of my head.
So it was probably the original front stairs,
Most likely, yeah.
most likely.
The original front stairs, when they were in place, do you know how far they came out or how far they were from the front road?
So I mean, like, anywhere from 6 to 8 feet, maybe, like a 4-foot landing off the front of it, and then 4 stairs off the front of that.
So I'm basically trying to get at how much further forward are you going?
Probably a foot or two,
A foot or two?
yeah.
With 60, what's this, 54, this was a lot of,
Maybe
72 is built.
max 4 feet, I would assume, just based off of the 8-foot projected build. And then 4-foot landing, 2-3 feet in stairs.
It's 1972-ish. Yeah, it never changed.
No.
The front never changed. Just the sides. All right. Any more questions, board members?
I have no more questions.
Being a public hearing, We'll open it to the public at this time, if anyone would like to speak. Seeing no one.
I would like to make a motion to close both parts of the hearing.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to close both parts of the hearing. Any discussion? No? Okay. Someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a
Motion for Brandy Robert Brennan for variance under section 5.32 of the Tewksbury zoning bylaw for a front setback to build an 8x12 front porch as shown on the plans filled with this board. This property is located at 1102 South Street, Assessors Map 109, Lot 13, zoned residential.
second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous vote. All set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, 911 to 913 East Street LLC for variance under section 5.3.4 and 5.3.4A of the Tewksbury zoning bylaw for rear and side setbacks to construct 11,132 square foot, 3-story self-storage facility. As shown on plans filed with this board, said property is located at 913 East Street, Assessors Map 102, Lot 52, zoned Industrial 1. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. For the record, Dick Chuko, representing the applicant.
Arnie Martell, applicant.
Let's see what's going on here.
Do you have any idea what you plugged into? So maybe we can get it on this? HDMI 1, HDMI 2,
Right on the side, I'll say right there.
that way we don't have to turn around.
Mine's only one HDMI. Do you have it? You can, I can't see it up there, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we see.
Good for now.
Okay, to unplug it.
Yeah,
All else fails.
it's moving it.
Why does this thing never work? Oh, well.
Maybe our tech guy can help us out.
Everything on there, everything should be on, the list is on, but I'm trying to just over here real quick.
Yeah, it's killing my mouse anyway, so.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll let them know what's that.
Okay.
I guess we'll do it. We'll
The old fashioned.
we'll do it, we'll do it old school.
We're old here.
I believe everyone here on the board has probably sat on this case before. The property we have at 911, 913 East Street is kind of a older building. It's kind of underutilized. We came in for a variance for a setback on a commercial building and adding on to the existing commercial building. Well, through an unfortunate set of events, the previous owner, one of the principals passed away. The other one is incapacitated, so Mr. Martell brought the property. That particular use really isn't advantageous for the district. We thought he wants to put something in there that's a little nicer, that, will have a larger tax, have a larger impact on the tax base. And the actual layout of the building and the property is pretty much the same. The building is a little smaller in footprint. There's actually less impervious area in the, oh, here we go. Well, sees the home screen, but it
Okay,
doesn't.
that should work now.
Yeah, I gotta get it to, it's not showing, it's killing my mouse here. I don't know what's going on. Let me try it one more time. When all else fails, turn it off and start over again, right? Well, anyways, let me continue. So what we're here for is a variance for the rear yard setback. Under the new zoning, the rear yard setback is 25 feet. In the past, we were able to secure a variance from you folks for a 10-foot rear yard setback. As I explained before, and I'll reiterate that because of the shape of the property, with its triangular shape, and because of its proximity to the power line, we should be allowed to have a footprint of a building somewhere in the vicinity of 17,000 square feet if we were on a normal shaped lot. So you have the plan in front, let me just see the plan you have. I think I gotta go back and reset the settings. So because of the shape of the land and the encumbrance of the power line, we can't put a building on there that we normally would put on a lot of this size. We have plenty of frontage. So if we go through the table of dimensional requirements that are on the right-hand side of the page, the minimum lot size is an acre, we have 1.12. The minimum frontage is 150 feet, we have 516. The minimum front yard setback is 50 feet, we're holding a 50 and a half. The minimum side yard setback is 25 feet, we have 29. And the minimum rear setback is 25, and we're proposing 10. The side yard setback it says 100 feet if you abut a residential zone. We abut a residential zone, but because the unique shape of the parcel, the nearest home is at 905 East Street is 862 feet away, and a home at 920 East Street is 346 feet away. So it's well beyond the 100 feet if our lot was a conventional shaped lot. So we're hoping that because of the proximity to the railroad is our rear abutter. Behind that is Market Basket. I gotta get this up here. This is ridiculous. It's dead.
Oh, there you go, Dick.
Oh. All right, so I just shut the cover and it works. All right. Now I can just get it to go down. All right, so basically, this is what you're looking at here. I have another slide that just what I did, Mr. Chairman, is I put the building in red so it's a little bit easier to see what we're talking about. So we got the 50-foot setback here. We have an industrial user on this side. We have the railroad behind us, and then we have Market Basket warehouse on this side. We have the power lines coming through here, and we have industrial users over here. So here's our property, and what I was just explaining to you, the nearest residential dwelling to the south is 905 feet, and the nearest residential dwelling to the northwest is 346 feet. So if we had the 100-foot setback all the way, if we said, let's not just go from the building, but let's say from our property line. If we went from our property line 100 feet out, we still wouldn't abut any residential dwelling. So we don't think that will have a negative impact on the neighborhood, because just like the building that was there before and the existing building is only 10 feet off of the rear line. So here's an aerial view of what's there now. So this building will be coming down, this building will be coming down. This building is only 8 feet off of the existing property line. Looking at it from the other direction, that's the same location, so that would be only 8 feet off the property line. So the power line comes across like this, so we're putting our building in, we're meeting all of the other setback requirements, but instead of 25 feet in the rear, we're asking for 10 feet in the rear.
And that's the railroad tracks behind you?
That's the railroad tracks behind us, yes.
And Market Basket Warehouse.
And then
behind the
Market
railroad
Basket
tracks.
Warehouse. So here's our building, here's our property, this is the railroad coming across like so. We've got the Mack truck dealership, or whatever it happens to be called nowadays. This is all Market Basket Warehouse over in here. This is 930 East Street, which used to be Muro Pharmaceutical. It's got different industrial users in there now. This is the tractor trailer truck school, and then J.J. Phelan back here. So our proximity to any residential dwellings is well over 300 feet. We meet all of the other requirements from the point of view of the maximum building height is, 3 stories, 3 stories, 35 feet. We're 34 and a half feet. The maximum building coverage is 35%, we're only 22.8%. The minimum open space requirement is 20%, and we get 36.8%. So from a dimensional point of view, we're meeting or exceeding all of the requirements. So if we don't meet the letter of the law, but we meet the spirit of the law. The spirit of the law is, not to have a commercial industrial complex, in close proximity to an industrial user. So this is going to be a self-storage warehouse. It doesn't have hours like, it has regular business hours. It's not like, the Mullis warehouse or something like that there. So that, again, that will be more harmonious with the neighborhood. Because it's a, self-storage warehouse, the impact on the property as far as traffic and generation and vehicles coming in and out will be far less than the previous use that was approved, which is was a contractor's yard with contractor garages. So the plan had received variance from you folks. It had already received site plan special permit from the planning board. It already received an order of conditions from conservation. But then what the situation with the family, the property got sold, and now we're in here with a different use, which we think is a more or less intense use, more benign than what was previously posed. And the building, we think, is very attractive. I have a photo you may not remember, but this was the other building that was going to be there.
What was that building going to be used for?
That was contractors' garages. So
There's 2 more bays down the end, so it was a total of 6. There's, on the far angle, there was a few more bays.
Yeah.
You can only see 3 in the face there.
So
But then
this-
there was 1 on the side and a few more on that angle.
So this was the site plan. There was the existing building. This was the proposed addition. As Arnie said, there were 2 bays over here. There were 3 bays in the front. And then that glass kiosk building that's out front was going to stay. Now that's going to go. We're taking that building out. We'll have a nice clean front, be plenty of good sight distance going up and down through here. We meet all the parking requirements. Just think it's a cleaner building, more useful building, and probably generate a lot more taxes and have less impact traffic-wise and, commercial industrial vehicles being parked there.
What are the hours of operation?
Well, there'll be, normal business hours, there'll be 1 person there working at the office just for rentals coming in and out.
Yeah.
They will have access to it, 1 person at all times. So it's all run by key fobs now.
Okay.
So they would have 24-hour access to their specific unit.
It's 24/7.
Yeah, so that's like they're going right now, if you will, for all the self-storage buildings. So this, I plan on doing a state-of-the-art all climate-controlled self-storage building, all electronic key fobs, and that sort of thing. So I would like it to be, like I said, state-of-the-art as it can be.
And the good thing about that is if, let's say, someone, got there at 2:00 in the morning and they opened their place up and they were rowdy and whatever, we would know exactly who that was. Because when they swipe their card, it goes on the recorder and there's cameras everywhere and so forth, so.
Yeah, with today's technology, with all the cameras and everything, these, you can really be secure with these, just being able to keep an eye on them at all times, at all times of day now, so.
And the climate control is what people are looking for now, I mean, I know when I moved years ago and I put mine in one of the buildings with the wrinkle tin doors, and I didn't realize, I said, well, it's not climate control, big deal. Well, all my saws and everything that had a cast iron table on it, when I took it out 4 months later, was rusted and had to oil them and grind them all down. And we actually, when the first one was built in town, when we still had our office, we used to use it because just storing your files, you have to keep records for 7 years. You can't leave them in a musty, dingy dungeon place. So this is the way to go now.
Do you plan on renting any vehicles out of there?
As far as,
Like a U-Haul setup or anything like that?
that is something we are looking into right now to see how much use they're used. If there were to be that would only be during normal business hours. You couldn't come in and use your key fob and get keys at 2 a.m. It is something that, we definitely are looking into right now to see how much they're being used at the other locations. You see all the different self-storage places today, they all seem to have it. But if it's not being used a lot, I don't think, it's something we're looking into again, but that would be during normal Monday to Friday business hours, 8 to 5, if you will, one person in the office dealing with
Top
it.
of your head, if that's still a special permit?
Yeah, it would be.
Okay.
The thing too is that most of the places that have these, it's like 1 or 2 vehicles, it's not like when you go down into Wilmington, there's just a U-Haul store where they have all the trucks, the trailers and everything.
Right.
It's kind of a convenience that if you have a unit there and you need to go pick up some furniture or what have you, you can, almost like Home Depot, you can have the truck for an hour and, go. I know people who go down and get it for an hour and don't buy lumber. It's just cheaper than going to U-Haul.
All right.
Yeah,
Either way,
there wouldn't be a fleet with the building this size. If
Either way, it's a special permit anyway, so
Yeah,
you'd
yeah.
be back in front of us, or back in front of one of the boards.
Behind the building, that 10 feet, is that going to be paved? Or is that just going to be green?
It'll be green.
Yeah,
There's no
most of it.
Fire code, the fire trucks don't need to get behind there in case there's a
Well,
fire emergency.
it's all sprinkled and they have access to 3 sides, which is what they require. So that's why I said before the building was 10 feet, we got all our approvals. We're showing, we got some trees coming across over in this area here because we're trying to shield the kind of market basket, we don't want people looking at the railroad, so we've got it. There's a lot of trees in there now that'll stay. This is kind of green in here now. This is the area here that we'll have to be redoing. If you look at the, you can see how heavily wooded it is, because there's the railroad over here. This is our property.
It just needs to be cleaned up. It's pretty overgrown and,
It needs a lot of pruning, yeah.
Yeah, the trees are choking themselves out at this point. Obviously, I plan on keeping this building and owning it, so I would like some nice landscaping back there, as well as, looking at it from the street as well as looking at it from the building.
Yeah, and then we have, so now we've got it's landscaped area all into this area. We have another landscaped area out here. Before we had parking in front of the building because there were the bays, so we have a few entrances over in here, but we've got a lot more green on here. Like I said, there's less impervious area in this plan than the plan that was previously approved. So we have a couple, forget how much it is, but it's like 4,000 square feet more open grass area than we had on the previous plan, which is right.
As you can see, the property now is pretty much all impervious, you know, it's all pavement.
So if you have any other questions, we'd be happy to try to answer them for you.
I don't have any questions.
I have no question. None. I'd like to make a motion to close both parts.
Being a public hearing, we'll open it to the public at this time. If anyone would like to speak. Seeing no one,
I'd like to close both parts of the hearing.
motion's been made. Anything else?
That's it.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any discussion?
Nothing.
Good.
I'd like to make a motion to approve 911, 913 East Street LLC for a variance under sections 5.3.4 and sections 5.3.4A of the Tewksbury zoning bylaw for rear and side yard setbacks to construct an 11,132 square foot, 3-story self-storage facility as shown on plans filed with this board. Said property is located at 913 East Street, assessors map 102, lot 52, zoned industrial 1.
Motion's been made
Second.
and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous vote.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I just have one technical issue that when we did the application, it said total floor area, and I put down 11,132. That's the footprint. So for 3 stories, it's 33,396. I didn't realize that that was total floor area. So I don't know if it makes a difference in your motion, whether you said 11,132, that was the footprint of the building.
I redo it just to cover our basis.
Yep. What was it, 33,
33.
396.
396?
All right. I'd like to make a motion to approve 911, 913 East Street LLC for a variance.
Hold on. Let's not do the whole motion again. Let's make a correction to the motion. Right? You don't want to do the whole thing again,
Okay.
because then we're having 2 motions on the same property.
I think if you just corrected it to say that a footprint of 11,132 per floor or something like that there, just so that the record is clear. My bad.
Yeah,
So it's not a motion, we're just
we'll-
making a correction.
we'll make the correction to change the square foot of 911, 913 East Street LLC from 11,132 square feet to 33,296 square feet,
396.
396.
396. 33,396 square feet for 3 stories. Yeah, I'm happy with
You
that.
just made it.
Yeah, done. All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Good
I
luck.
guess I know next time all I have to do is close the cover.
We still couldn't get it up here, though.
I had it here for like 10 seconds.
Look, now watch it.
You have
Yeah.
to do, you close the cover and it goes to the monitor.
I know, open it again, it goes to your back screen.
Yeah.
Well, there's a switch in here that I know I can flip so that it does both, but that's okay. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thanks, you too.
All right, we have no correspondence. Any new business?
Yeah.
Any old business?
None.
I have my grandson.
Somebody like to make a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Yeah.